Donald Trump has reignited the conflict with Iran, even though the United States is still grappling with a severely depleted inventory of its most critical weapon systems. In just 40 days of war against Iran, the U.S. burned through large portions of its most important offensive and defensive weapons. From JASSM-ER cruise missiles and Tomahawks to Patriot and THAAD interceptors, America's stocks were heavily depleted, with replacement orders and deliveries staggered so far into the future that some systems won't fully recover until around 2030. With Iran now striking U.S. assets in the Gulf and promising that American attacks will not go unanswered, serious doubts are emerging over how Washington will defend its bases. As the U.S.-Iran war reignites, the sheer scale of America's earlier military losses is back in the spotlight, forcing officials to confront the cost of the last campaign before fully committing to a new one. America's air campaign alone cost about $11.3 billion in the first 6 days, rising to roughly $16.5 billion by day 12, reflecting how quickly high-end munitions and assets were consumed. Those figures were compiled and revealed by the Center for Strategic and International Studies, putting hard numbers to what had largely been abstract talk of expensive strikes. According to the Pentagon, the total direct cost of the 40-day war came to around $25 billion, covering aircraft operations, missiles, interceptors, and supporting systems. Independent assessments, however, have suggested the real economic and replacement cost may be closer to $100 billion, once lost hardware and longer-term replenishment are fully accounted for. From extended-range JASSM-ER hours to Patriot interceptors and beyond, the U.S. burned through an array of weapon stockpiles, leaving planners facing a multi-year inventory crisis in some of the most vital systems. The JASSM-ER is an air-launched cruise missile, designed to strike high-value targets from long range while keeping U.S. aircraft outside dense enemy air defenses. It has a range of more than 900 kilometers, allowing jets to hit deep inside Iran or other theaters without crossing heavily defended airspace. Before the war ramped up in late February, the U.S. inventory stood at roughly 2,300 JASSM-ER missiles, a stock meant to cover both Indo-Pacific and Middle Eastern contingencies. In just 1 month of fighting against Iran, the U.S. used about 1,100 JASSM-ER hours, effectively burning through nearly half of its existing supply in a single theater. Those JASSM-ER strikes alone accounted for roughly $1.21 billion in munitions cost, highlighting how expensive sustained high-end air campaigns can be. By the end of March, stocks originally earmarked for the Pacific were being repositioned to CENTCOM bases and RAF Fairford, showing how the Iran war began to drain resources from other regions. The BGM-109 Tomahawk land attack missile is one of the oldest and most proven strike weapons in the U.S. Navy's inventory, still central to long-range precision attacks from sea. Tomahawks can be launched from both surface ships and submarines, giving commanders flexible options to hit hardened or distant targets. They are capable of loitering and retargeting mid-flight, with a range of over 1,500 kilometers, making them ideal for complex target sets in Iran. Before the Iran war, America possessed around 3,200 Tomahawk missiles across its fleets. During the first month of the conflict, the U.S. fired about 850 Tomahawks, a massive expenditure in such a short time span. By the end of the 40 days, more than 1,000 Tomahawks had been used, with a total cost estimated at around $1.9 billion. Yet the Pentagon has only ordered about 190 new Tomahawks in 2026, indicating a slow pace of replenishment. The U.S. Navy has requested 785 Tomahawks in its FY 2027 budget, but deliveries are not expected until around 2030, leaving a multi-year gap. Each Tomahawk Block V costs approximately $1.87 million, which helps explain why the total missile bill alone reached roughly $1.9 billion during the war. The depletion of U.S. interceptors may carry severe long-term strategic consequences, as these are the very systems that protect bases, ships, and allies from missile and drone attacks. Key interceptors include the Patriot PAC-3 MSE, THAAD and Standard missiles SM-3 and SM-6, all of which are vital for layered air and missile defense. The Patriot PAC-3 MSE interceptor was among the most heavily used in the Iran war, repeatedly tasked with shooting down incoming ballistic and cruise threats. Each Patriot missile costs about $4 million, and over 1,200 were fired during the conflict, representing billions of dollars in expended interceptors. The U.S. Army's FY 2027 budget requests 3,203 Patriot missiles, but those will not all be delivered until around 2029, leaving years of constrained capacity. Currently, only about 650 Patriots are produced each year, with roughly half going to Allied orders, further slowing U.S. stockpile recovery. Lockheed Martin plans to surge production to around 2,000 per year, but that ramp-up will still take time to fully materialize. THAAD batteries form the upper-tier component of U.S. missile defense and are considered among the most critical interceptors for high-altitude threats. Between about 52 and 81% of pre-war THAAD interceptors were used against Iran, leaving the system heavily drawn down. No new THAAD missiles have been delivered since August 2023, and fresh deliveries are not scheduled until April 2027, creating a long capability trough. The radar systems that form the backbone of THAAD batteries were also hit and destroyed in some cases, further eroding the network. One AN/TPY-2 radar, reportedly worth around $300 million, was destroyed by Iranian strikes, showcasing the vulnerability of these high-value assets. The combined cost of THAAD, SM-3 and SM-6 interceptors used in the war ran into hundreds of millions of dollars, adding yet another layer to the bill. U.S. War Secretary Pete Hegseth has acknowledged that replenishing these stocks will take months and years, signaling to allies that the repair job is long-term, not immediate. The U.S. is not expected to return to pre-war inventory levels for its most critical systems before at least 2028, leaving several years of relative scarcity. For many of these systems, the period between contract award and delivery ranges from about 34 to 39 months, meaning decisions today only pay off years down the line. Nevertheless, even with depleted stockpiles, the U.S. appears to have restarted its conflict with Iran, betting that existing assets and allied support will be enough in the short term. Iran has begun retaliating by striking U.S. assets, mainly in Bahrain and Kuwait, putting American bases and regional partners directly in the line of fire. Tehran has warned that U.S. strikes will not go unanswered, effectively putting Arab states hosting American forces on notice that they could be caught in the crossfire.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.